So, what does it really take to heal a community? It's rarely just one program or one single fix. It's usually a genuine movement. And that's the story we're going to unpack today. The Sullivan County Anti-Drug Coalition, also known as SCAD, and their playbook for building a healthier future right from the ground up. Every great movement really starts with a single, powerful idea. And for SCAD, it's all right there in their vision. But look closer. The most important word is partnering. This isn't about some outside group coming in to save the day. It's a statement that the power to make a change is already inside the community itself. And this quote, this is where that whole idea of partnership really lands. It reframes the whole thing. The coalition isn't some organization you donate to, it's a movement that is you. It's a pretty powerful message, right? It's basically saying this isn't a spectator sport. Everyone's got a part to play. Okay, so how does a movement like this actually get started? I mean, they don't just pop up overnight. They're almost always born out of a real growing challenge. Let's see how they came to be. You can see that the seeds were planted for years, but 2011 is when it all became official. Then, just 1 year later, a really tragic synthetic drug crisis hit the community hard. And that crisis, well, it became a defining moment. It wasn't just another problem to solve, it was the event that proved just how essential a coordinated response really was, and it cemented SCAD's role for good. It's easy to throw around words like problems, but what did that actually look like on the ground? What was the data telling them? The answer might actually surprise you. This number right here, 20.3%. This was the spark that lit the fire. It came from a youth survey way back in 2004, and it showed the percentage of 10th graders who'd used tobacco recently. Just think about that for a second. 1 out of every 5 students. It was stark, cold, hard data like this that was a major wake-up call. It proved that a real coordinated effort wasn't just a nice idea, it was an absolute necessity. And here's a super important lesson from their story. Sometimes a crisis can actually be a catalyst for change. The synthetic drug emergency was, without a doubt, a tragedy, but it had this unintended side effect. It forced everyone, from lawmakers to police to schools, to finally sit down at the same table. It was kind of the ultimate proof of concept for the coalition, forging partnerships out of pure necessity that are still strong today. All right, so SCAD was born from a very real need. But how do they actually operate? They don't just run around putting out fires. Nope. They have a playbook, a methodical, evidence-based approach that's designed for real long-term change. So this is the backbone of their entire operation, the Strategic Prevention Framework, or SPF. Think of it like a repeating cycle. It's not a one-and-done kind of plan. It's a continuous loop of assessing, planning, acting, and then checking your work to make sure your efforts are actually making a difference. Let's break this down. It all starts with assessment, using actual data to figure out the problem, not just going on a hunch. Next up is capacity. This is all about asking, okay, do we have the right people and the right tools to actually fix this? Only then do they move to planning, where they pick strategies that have been proving to work. Implementation is, you guessed it, putting that plan into motion. But here's the secret sauce: evaluation. Did it work? What did we learn? It's that feedback loop that makes the whole process so smart and so effective. And what's really clever about their playbook is how they use these 7 strategies. If you look closely, you'll see they're attacking the problem from 2 different angles. The first 3 are all about the individual, giving people information and skills. But the next 4, they're bigger. They're about changing the environment, things like reducing access or changing policies. It's a powerful 1-2 punch that targets both people and the places they live. But look, a great playbook is totally useless without the right team on the field. And this gets to the absolute core of what makes SCAD work. It's the people and the incredibly high ethical standards they're held to, whether they're paid staff or a first-time volunteer. The expectations are crystal clear. It's not just about what you can't do, it's about what you must do. Act with honesty, integrity, and respect. And why is this so critical? Well, when you're working on issues this sensitive in a community, trust isn't just a nice bonus. It's the most valuable asset you have, period. This quote from their code of conduct, man, it just says it all. It ties everything together. It shows how the well-being of the entire community literally depends on the actions of each individual person involved. That creates a profound sense of accountability, where your personal conduct and the mission's success are basically one and the same. So, after hearing all this, you might be sitting there thinking, Wow, how can I be a part of something like that? Well, the good news is SCAD is built from the ground up for community involvement. This is the question they put out there to everyone in their community. Because at the end of the day, preventing substance misuse isn't someone else's job, it's a shared responsibility. And what's so brilliant here is how they make it easy for anyone to participate. They've created these tiers of involvement, so there are really no barriers. You can start small at tier 1, maybe just by sharing resources online. If you've got a bit more time, you can jump into tier 2 and get hands-on at an event. And if you're ready to really help shape strategy, tier 3 invites you to come to the table and lend your voice. It's a system designed to meet people exactly where they are. Ultimately, the story of SCAD is just a powerful example of a community deciding to heal itself. It's a blueprint, really, showing that with a clear vision, a smart strategy, and a team driven by shared values, real change is absolutely possible. And it leaves us all with a pretty important question to think about. What problems in our own communities are we just waiting for someone else to solve?